So, we spoke quite a bit recently on the Motoring Chronicle about the MOT, the test that basically determines whether your car is roadworthy or not. So you need to have a car that's got a valid MOT in date in order to use it on the roads. Now, apparently there is some issues when it comes to parts. I mean, we've spoke about supply chain issues and things taking a long time to either be built or be repaired, and dealers are apparently facing workshop chaos and customer anger if they don't prepare now for new MOT rules that are coming in on recalls. So let's have a look at this, guys. There's a full article here on the motoringchronicle.com. Of course, the rules of the road and everything like that. I mean, we spoke about the changes to the highway code that came in 3 years ago and how most people either don't know or don't care about the changes that were put into place during that time. So these things can take a while to adapt, but it's not going to be the case for dealers, really. They don't really have a choice when it comes to that, and they need to act now or they will suffer the consequences of some pretty angry customers. So let's have a look, guys. Full article on the motoringchronicle.com as always. Millions of vehicles could soon fail due to unresolved safety recalls, overwhelming workshops, and leaving frustrated customers scrambling for repairs. That's the warning from data experts ADS, who say that cars may soon be failed if a recall has been missed. ADS points out that the most recent figures from the Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency should suggest that abrupt implementation of a new MOT failure or advisory rule relating to outstanding recalls would see dealers overwhelmed with workshop demand and countless customers off the road. More than 5 million cars are potentially affected because franchise dealers have lost contact with their owners, or customers have failed to respond to initial contact, according to the most recent figures from the DVSA. In 2021 alone, more than 2.7 million cars were recalled, with less than 800,000 rectified by the dealer. ADS believes that with recalls becoming increasingly common, the total number of cars overdue a dealer appointment is now significantly over 5 million. That is a lot. That is 1/6 of cars on the road in the UK, coming up to maybe around a seventh, but a lot either way. It is known that the previous government was working on bringing outstanding recalls into MOT testing criteria, and the new administration is expected to implement the change, but timing remains unclear. Of course, for those that aren't aware, the international audience, the UK, changed the ruling party through last year. So a lot of things like this are still kind of a hangover, really. We had the same party leading the country for 14 years, and that has now changed. So things are kind of up in the air when it comes to stuff like that. Dealers who don't now risk being caught off guard when new rules take effect, losing customers and damaging trust in the process. A sudden rule change, says ADS, introducing an advisory or even an automatic MOT failure for unresolved recalls could trigger a nightmare scenario with millions of customers rushing for repairs at once. Dealer workshops would be overwhelmed, parts supply strained, and thousands of drivers left unable to use their vehicles, ultimately threatening the dealer with reputation and brand loyalty, or a lack thereof. One manufacturer has already launched a project partnering with ADS to get ahead of the curve. It has begun tracking the backlog of outstanding safety recalls so that its dealer can manage the pipeline of work more smoothly. ADS specializes in helping franchise dealers to keep track of customers who have moved on to independent service providers, changed address, or sold their, and with over 50% of dealers' databases typically containing outdated customer details, ADS urges dealers to act now. The company says that the dealer database analyzes consistently, and it shows that around 1 in 5 lapsed customers of this kind are currently driving cars subject to an outstanding safety recall. Successive governments have had a poor track record on decision making and responsible communications that avoid causing chaos for the automotive industry. You can say that again. So it is wise to get ahead of this problem immediately, said John Shute, the operations director of ADS. If they don't, depending on how the government chooses to implement the change, dealers could be overwhelmed by unforeseen demands for new parts and workshop time, leaving large numbers of customers potentially inconvenienced or even off the road entirely. As well as signaling a potential duty of care issues for dealers, ADS analysis of dealer databases also show massive revenue opportunities are missed when the dealer or customer relationship lapses. One senior executive at a major franchise dealer group confidently told ADS, "We know recalls are growing as an issue. And if this continues to happen overnight, then we'll face weeks of backlogs just trying to clear MOT failures, let alone routine servicing. But beyond the immediate pressure, this is also an opportunity to reconnect with customers who haven't visited in years. And now we can encourage them to book in for servicing alongside recall work, strengthening relationships and ensuring that they return to us in the future. ADS stresses that the potential problem can also be transformed into a dealer revenue opportunity, highlighting data demonstrating that recall appointments generate an average of £309 per visit in additional servicing and repair work. John Sherd added, re-engaging lapsed customers can now ensure a steady flow of business rather than a sudden influx of urgent unplanned repairs. Instead of reacting when it happens, we strongly encourage dealers to get ahead of this issue now, reconnect with lapsed customers, and also ensure their workshops remain in control when the change comes. Oh, it is a tough one though. This is the thing. It's a tough one to kind of say for these garages and stuff. It's all well and good saying, yeah, get these parts in, prepare for this change. It's coming. We don't know when, but it's coming. The problem is that then, I mean, a lot of these dealers will, specialize in one, maybe two brands of cars. So I understand the amount of parts and the number of different configurations and stuff like that will actually be quite limited in a sense, but it's still a lot to actually fork out, and that's a lot of money, that's a lot of capital they'll have to give up to go and do that on something that will happen presumably, but we don't know when, and we also don't know by in what kind of form that it will take really when it comes to that. So it's a tough one, but it is very much a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. Because then if you don't prepare, like it says, you're going to be overwhelmed with it, and your customers aren't going to be happy about having to wait weeks, months to get the parts that they need to actually pass their MOT to keep their car up to service and roadworthy. So it is a tough one, and like we bring you so often here on the motoringchronicle.com, the UK automotive industry is not the best at the moment. I mean, yeah, sales are doing all right at the moment. We brought you news on the new and the used car market doing quite well at the start of 2025, but it's very much paving over the cracks when it comes to them. We've got a yawning chasm of a fissure when it comes to some issues really in the automotive industry. And you can read and listen to it all you want here on the motoringchronicle.com. We've got hours of video footage at this point going over some of the most damning indictments really when it comes to the automotive industry here in the UK, because it's not doing very well, to be honest. But this is something that could really hit the garages for sure, but we'll see what happens, guys. We'll let you know anything when it happens. But it's up to, I mean, again, a bit like with the ZEV mandate, this is an issue that has kind of spilled over from the old government, and the new government has to deal with it. I mean, the new government's been there for 8 months now. I'm not saying they've not had time, but they've not had that much time really. They've not had a lot, but at the same time, this is probably enough time to deal with this, I would say. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Hopefully there's a decent amount of warnings that these garages can actually prepare and know what to prepare for exactly. So post in the comments as always, guys. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. And we'll see you soon with some more video content here on the motoringchronicle.com very soon. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. Have a good one. See you later.